All right, thank you guys for joining us. In this video, we're going to review the in-home presentation layout. As you're in this business for a while, you'll notice there's different presentations out there. They all work as long as you're from someone that's doing it at a high level. Each of these presentations work. You have to find one to mesh with your own personality, something that you can be genuine about, because these people can very much read you in the home, and that's why it's so important to master the presentation. In this video, you will slow down every once in a while. I will try to talk a little bit slower to make sure that the video audio is correct. So the first part of a presentation, successfully making sure that your presentation button is set up correctly. Okay, so if you go to Craig Harvey's presentation, if you go to Tommy Averett, a lot of these producers, we all have our binders set up the same way. Right here, you will see a video that you can use to go ahead and watch the video and see how to set it up correctly and what to say at the right time. The reason I'm going over this with you right now is I'm not going to be showing you the pages that you need to use while I'm going through my presentation. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm going through my presentation. I'm flipping through these different pages right here. Okay, so first thing is state license. So a copy of your state license. On the back of that page, the Better Business Bureau accreditations. And it could be either, you could do BBB and then state license. That doesn't really matter. Next, a photo of your family. Something about you with your pets, something like that. I have a picture of my family. I have a picture of an ultrasound of my now 2-year-old. And then I have a picture of me holding a big alligator gar. It's a giant fish that we catch here in Texas. Next, there's going to be the prescription drug save card. You can print that off right here. And then you're going to have an example of different policies. So here is the BBB. Print this out. You just click on it and print it. This example is the Universal Life. This is an example of whole life. This is an example of the term. So when I'm flipping through this in my binder, this is what I say. I say, here's a term policy. Here's an example right here, Ms. Johnson. And it's hard for me to say this quickly and have my personality because I have to talk slowly, but I'll do my best. Even though it says it goes to age 95, Ms. Johnson, you can kind of see right here that this person was paying about $80 a month for 20 years. About $20,000 is what she paid, or he had paid. And when he turned 75 years old, the policy actually went from $80 a month to $1,800 a month. Okay? So the reason I go over this, guys, I want to show them examples, real-life examples of term policies, of whole life policies, and of universal life policies. Okay? So when I'm going over the universal life, hear me say it in my presentation. There's non-guaranteed, there's guaranteed, there's all these interest rates. It's very confusing. It's hard to understand. If you don't have a financial advisor, I'd probably recommend not having one of these policies. And then you can kind of see that this person's policy ended when they turned 70 years old. But just an example. So print these off, guys. They're all printable. There's a lot of extra forms right here that you can print off as well. So let's go ahead and get into the presentation. Again, watch these videos, guys. It's in the NFX training website. So I have a second for this to come up. This is the presentation layout. Below, under this video, you will see a link to print out the presentation layout. Print out 10, 15 of them. What I do is I print out 10 or 15 of these a week, and I just use them in every single home. What it does, what it's designed for, is to help you stay on point. The reason I created this is as I was field training agents, I was trying to get them to memorize my presentation. And, trying to memorize something and then go on the spot, it can be a little bit difficult. So this helps you stay on point. It helps you say all the right things at the right time. And most importantly, it prevents objections. It allows you to go through the presentation without being interrupted by objection after objection after objection, you're talking about the objections first. So again, you have to imagine I'm flipping through my sales binder as I'm doing this. First thing I'm going to do is obviously introduce myself. When it comes to warming up, guys, that's just something I naturally can do. Again, I genuinely care about helping these people out. So for me to have a conversation to build rapport, that's something I'm just good at. I don't have any type of advice. If you look below on the bottom of this page, there's another video below, and it's called the warm up, and there's a video there that you can watch on how to warm up. But I just have natural conversations with them. I sit down. I don't really use the lead for a whole lot. I don't refer to the lead because I usually work leads that are a year old, 2 years old. So the lead can actually become an objection. So I just don't even talk about the thing. I use it to get in the house, and that's it. So benefits coordinator, what you're going to say there, it's all highlighted right here, guys. You can kind of see, but basically it's, all right, so I'm the benefits coordinator in your area. There's one thing I want you to understand, Ms. Johnson, and I say this with personality, a lot of facial expressions. You have to work your own personality into this, okay? So I move my hands while I'm just having a real conversation, a genuine conversation with these people. First thing I want you to understand is I typically help people that are 50 to 85. Most of the people I visit, Ms. Johnson, they are usually on a fixed income, Social Security, disability. I start nodding my head, and almost always they say, yeah, that's me. They're usually on a fixed income, Social Security, disability. I'm here just to talk to you about the affordable options and some of the basic needs, okay? If we partner up today, I'm going to be your family's agent for life. Everything that we're going to do is going to run through me. I'm going to represent you. And the benefit of working with me is I represent a ton of different companies. So I'm able to find you the best options available, okay? Guys, just a little insert right here. This is a conversational piece. This is not a survey that you put on the table and just fill it out. I put it on the table, and I'm just kind of marking on it as I go. It's just helping me stay on track. And the people love it. They love seeing you filling it out. They actually look at it. They love it, okay? But you cannot just keep your head down and quiz these people like you're doing some type of a survey. It's personality, okay? This is all here just to keep you on track. You don't have to sit down and put your head down and read this. Understand, I typically help people. No, that's not how it works. This is just to help you get over that objection of, I'm on Social Security, I'm on a fixed income, I can't afford anything. I'm telling them up front, I only work with people that can't afford things. That's all I work with. So they can't use that as an objection. Because if they do later on, I'm going to say, hey, that's fine. The lady I just helped out, down the street, same situation. She may be making less than you on Social Security, but I still was able to help her out, okay? So just breaking down these smoke screens, these fake objections that people make up just because they give the same objections to every person, right? It's part of their makeup. They just use that type of language, but they can afford it, guys. These people can afford, plenty of insurance. So next thing I want to show you is my state license. Okay, the state license, anytime someone comes to your house, make sure they have something to show you as far as a state license. Here's my BBB accreditation. I understand that, one bite apple can spoil the whole bunch. So, the reason I'm showing you this is we have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Next thing, look at my family. Look at these guys right here. The reason I show you this, Ms. John, I just want you to know I'm just a normal guy. After I get done working today, I have to go home, change diapers, feed kids, and just a normal guy. I don't want you to see me as an insurance guy, okay? So then I just kind of I slide my binder over and let them look at the picture a little bit, and I just have conversation. Sometimes I have a 2-minute conversation in the middle right here, because they talk to me about their kids or how many they had, or they want to ask more questions. Almost always I have I have a picture of a big fish in my binder. We almost always talk about the picture of this fish. It's huge. And so anyhow, it's just casual conversation. Again, that's just for me. You may want to stay on track and have something memorized, but I'm casual right here. But I'm still staying on track. Okay, there's 3 things I'm going to help you out with today. All right, there's prescriptions, Social Security income, make sure you're getting it, and then also the senior benefits. So first things, how are you doing as far as prescriptions go? as far as affordability. You know what? Go grab those. Go ahead and go grab those for me real fast. Yeah, just go grab your prescriptions. No big deal. And go have them grab you prescriptions. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to see if you could help them save money. And you can say that. Let's see what I could do to help you out. I'm going to be able to do a little bit for you. You go ahead and grab those, okay? And you just put your head down. Go grab your prescriptions for me. Put your head down. They bring them back and put them on the table. Now you have a couple options right here. What I teach is review first, okay? Or excuse me, educate first, review second. In all things, I'm educating first, and then I'm reviewing second. At this point, you can start reviewing the medications if you want and start doing the underwriting. I personally don't. I have them on the table or on the couch or on the coffee table, and I start asking them about affordability. So I flip to that page, that prescription discount page. Okay, remember that's like page 3 in your binder. And the reason I'm asking about your prescriptions, Ms. Johnson, is we have this program that helps save 50 to 75% off on your medications. How are you doing as far as affordability goes? Oh, they are? And they usually say, they get them for free or $2 a bottle or $5 a bottle. These folks usually don't need help with prescriptions, but it's a great tool to get referrals. Now, also, I'm allowed to give this to 3 other people. Okay? So if you have any family members, neighbors, friends, okay, children that do not have health insurance, I'll give this to them 100% free. Okay? Do you have anybody in mind that could use this? Again, it's no cost at all. And I try to get referrals right then and there, and I write it down on the back of the lead or on the back of this paper that I'm showing you right here. Okay? So, next thing. I talked about they can't save any money. I just kind of X that right there. I'm on to the next thing. Next thing I want to talk to you about is Social Security. Goes, how are you doing? Are you getting Social Security right now or disability? You are? Great. That's awesome. Now, are you getting that direct deposited to a bank like Chase Bank or Wells Fargo? Some Chase Bank? Okay, great. I'm not trying to be nosy, Ms. Johnson. The reason I was asking, making sure you're getting a direct deposit, is March 1st, 2013, they changed the rules to never sending out any more paper checks. So for folks that were getting paper checks, I'm just making sure you're not one of those people that's not getting paid anymore, right? All right, good deal. Perfect. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is the senior benefits. This is very important. This is life insurance, funeral insurance. There's so many people. Funerals are getting more and more expensive. We just want to make sure everyone's taken care of so you don't leave your family with a bunch of bills to pay. All right. So how are you doing as far as funeral insurance goes? Okay. Now there's 2 ways you can go right here. Okay. I'm going to do both of them for you, so hang with me. Okay. This is obviously going to take a little bit longer than my normal presentation because I'm going to be talking in between. So right here, they say, yes, I already have something. Okay. In almost all cases, guys, after they say something, I'm going to say, perfect, great, absolutely, almost always. They can say I'm not interested. I say that's fine. I never try to immediately combat their objection if I get one, which I rarely do. But say right here, oh yeah, I have life insurance. I got that taken care of. Perfect, great. A lot of the people I visit, about half the people I visit, they already have something in place. Okay, what I realized is they also keep their policy. It's like a little booklet or maybe a little folder, right? And I'm kind of shaking my head looking at them. It's like a little folder. They usually keep that somewhere safe, like a filing cabinet, a dresser drawer, under their bed. I've even had someone leave it in their freezer. Yeah, I guess they're afraid of a fire. But anyhow, where do you keep yours? And they tell you, and then you say, perfect, go grab it for me real fast. I just have to show you one thing. Head down. Okay, and I just start scribbling on my paper somewhere, just doing nothing, just doodling. Yeah, go ahead and grab it. My head's still down. Oh, take your time. I'm sure you'll find it. You said it's in your dresser drawer. Go grab it. I'm just doodling, okay? I'm looking busy to make them go get it. Now, the reason you do it that way, guys, and it's very important. If they say, yes, I have my insurance policy, and you say, great, go grab it for me, a lot of times they will go get it, but every once in a while you get that person that lies to you and says, I don't know where it's at, or it's buried, or it's at my sister's, or it's not here, or it's at my brother's. They'll make something up just so they don't have to go get it. So what I like to do is I like to kind of corner them. I like to make them tell me where it is first and then ask them to go get it second. Okay? Again, I want to get educated first on where it is, and then I'm going to review the policy second. So then they bring the policy back. Now, this is the art of policy review. This is going to make or break your policy review, which you've got to be good at this, because about half the people you visit, they're going to have an insurance policy currently in place. Okay, so you have to be good at policy review, and this is the important part. Number one, getting a policy. Okay, if you cannot get the policy, they don't have the policy, find out the name of the company, get on your phone and Google the name of the company and the phone number, or if you go to the producer's toolbox on the top of the website right here, you can print off insurance carrier phone numbers, and it has like 20 different carriers and their phone numbers that you can call. So print that off, put it in your binder. But anyhow, let's say they have the policy. They go to their bedroom, they bring it out. As soon as they hand that policy to me, I'm not going to look at it at all. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it as they hand it to me, and I'm going to set it on the other side of the table or just kind of next to me, like I just do not care about it at all. Completely ignore it, okay? Completely ignore the policy that they handed you. I grab it, set it off to the side. Again, this is the strategy. Educate first, review second. Educate first, review second. The reason you do this is if you just go straight and open up the policy and start bashing on their AARP policy, it's very offensive, right? It can be rude. If you go to a car lot and you drive your, 86 Taurus on the lot, and then you start bashing your car, you're just going to be turned off, right? But if they go ahead and start educating about the difference between your car and the 2014, whatever is similar to a Taurus, I guess they may have them still, I don't know. That's a little bit different, right? It's education first. So, all right, grab the policy, set it off to the side. What we're going to do right now is we're going to do something called Insurance 101, okay? What I'm going to do for you, Ms. Johnson, when you were in high school, they didn't teach you about insurance. When I was in high school, they didn't teach me either. So I'm going to go over something called Insurance 101. I'm going to discuss the types of insurance that are out there that you can purchase, okay? So there's term insurance, there's universal life, there's accidental, and there's whole life. And this is where I'm flipping through my binder, showing them an example of a term, right? And I say something like this. Look at this. Even though it says it goes to age 95, okay, this policy actually ended and when this person turned 76. You can see right here they were paying $80 a month, $80 a month, $80 a month. For about 20 years, they paid about $20,000 into this policy. And then when they turned 76, it went from $80 a month to $1,800 a month, okay? And that's hard to do when you're on a fixed income, right? And I'm shaking my head. Term insurance is like milk, bread, or cheese. Eventually, you're going to have to throw it out, okay? And it's always going to increase in price. So we want to stay away from that. The next one's universal life. It's like a slow leaking tire, confusing interest rates. If you don't have some type of financial advisor, I'd highly recommend not doing this. The next one is accidental. Accidental, it's cheap because it pays out less than term. You get it for free through your bank and whatever. Okay, the last one is whole life. And I flip to the page that has the whole life in my binder. This is the only one that I can guarantee. The only reason I can guarantee it is it says guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. The amount that you pay per year is guaranteed. The amount that you get when you pass away is guaranteed all the way to 120 years old, right? And then also it guarantees that you build cash value, like a savings account. So you can see right here, here's an example policy. I'm showing them the example. In 10 years, this lady right here can borrow $2,000 against her death benefit if she would like to, if she needs it. Okay? So that's all guaranteed. All right? Now, what would you like? Would you like to have guaranteed plan or non-guaranteed? Guaranteed, right? Everyone says the same thing. Okay? Perfect. Now, the next thing, 82% of people are unprepared. The number one issue today, Ms. Johnson, is an increasing price term policy through Globe, AARP, Physicians Mutual Clinic. That's the biggest problem that we're having right now. Okay? It's an absolute epidemic of people buying insurance off the TV or through the mail, and it's just hurting families. And you're welcome to get on Google and Google these different companies and make up your own opinion about them. But I'm just here to do some education for you. So how these policies work, okay, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and open up, I'll flip the page over basically is what I'll do. I'll do some basically, let me show you. I'll go ahead and insert a new page real fast. Okay. I'll do something like this on the back. I'll flip that document over and I'll draw something like this. Okay. So how these term policies work, they start a little bit like this. So they're very cheap at first. Okay. This is how much money you get. Say it's $10,000 or $20,000, but it only goes to age 80. Okay, which is fine. Say you pass away before you're 80. Okay, maybe you live after. Most people do live past 80. There's a reason these policies end at 80 years old, right? So what's going to happen over time is every 5th birthday that you have, that price is going to go up. Okay, that price is going to go so high that you're going to have to cancel it. Just like that example I showed you where they started at $80 a month and then it went to $1,800 a month. Eventually you're going to have to get rid of it. So I'm not necessarily concerned about you living past 80 or if you die before, whatever that is. I'm concerned about you being on a fixed income. Okay, your income being like this and your bills getting so high that eventually you have to cancel it. Maybe it's at 70, 75, I don't know. Okay, so that's how that type of policy works. Okay, the next issue that we're having is no insurance at all. That's not you. You're responsible enough to go ahead and get something, so good for you. Next one is paying too much. Lincoln Heritage, Reliable, Bankers Life, these are wonderful companies, great organizations, but their prices are simply higher than the companies that I can offer you. Okay, they're simply just too much. And if you're on a fixed income, wouldn't you agree that you like to save as much money as possible? Right. So if I could save you money, let's save you money. Last one's not enough. Pre-need insurance, savings. Pre-need's fine, but it usually only pays for a casket, headstone, sometimes the plot. There's so much more that goes into a funeral than just that stuff. And these are a lot more expensive on a monthly basis than what I can offer. And then also saving money, that's a great idea, but as you know, you save $500, then Christmas comes around, you know, the fair comes to town, you get a flat tire, that money's gone. Work policies are great, but they stop when you stop working. A week policy, flexible universal life, or an accidental policy with your bank, we want to stay away from this stuff. Guys, so realize what I did right here. Again, educate before you review. So what I did right here is I educated them on everything that's out there. So if I open up this policy, which is sitting on the side of the table and I've completely ignored, and it's Globe, AARP, Physicians Mutual, Colonial Penn, Lincoln Heritage, it's one of these companies which most likely is, guys, the sale is basically done at that point. I've made them agree that this is bad. I made them agree that they don't want to pay too much. I made them agree that they want the guarantee type plan. And if we open up the policy and it's this or this, this or this, they're not going to want to keep it anymore. And from that point, it just comes down to negotiating price. So that's why you educate first, review second. So this is how I get into the policy review. Great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and look at your policy real fast. Okay. And you can review this stuff again over here, guys. You can review this stuff again with them if you'd like to. That's completely up to you before you do the policy review, just so you make sure they're on the same track. Then you open up the policy, look at what it is, its term, and then just kind of show them in the policy where it's good or bad. And if they have whole life, thank goodness you had this whole life policy. Good for you. What's it for? So if they have whole life, okay, this is huge, guys. If they have whole life and it's cheaper than what you can offer, okay, you still have several options, okay, especially if they're younger. Now, if they're, if they are a 79-year-old, kind of sick, and they have something that's cheaper than yours in a whole life, make sure they keep that plan in place. And you can do addition. You can add to it, but don't be canceling people's policies when they're older and, they have a whole life plan that's cheaper. The reason I'm saying that is you can, if someone has whole life, you can use cash value. They can get $2,000 of cash out of their policy and get that cash and start a new policy. The reason you don't want to start a new policy for someone that already, or cancel and start a new policy for someone that's older, is they have that 2-year contestability period, and we don't want the insurance companies messing around with them. So that's just some ethics right there. But anyhow, back to it. Finding out what type, term, UL, accidental, whole life, numbers, are the numbers in your favor. Ms. Johnson, you don't have to do these insurance companies any favors at all. If I could save you $10 a month, save $10 a month. Okay, you don't owe these guys anything. Okay. Also, if they have a whole life plan, which they usually, just so you know, they almost always have one of these. Oops. they almost always have one of these policies right here. Sorry about that. Where it's a term policy. Okay? It's almost always the case. But if they have one of these and you can't beat the price because they've had it for 5 years, guys, you have to go over the different needs. You ask them, what's this for? Oh, it's to pay for my funeral. Great. So you got your funeral coverage taken care of. What about final expense coverage, life insurance, income replacement, inheritance benefit, family plan? And then you start selling them on an additional $5,000 of insurance for income replacement, right? So I'll go over that in a second. But basically at this point, guys, once you have discovered the type of policy, once you've educated them, okay, this is a great time to call your manager in the home. Okay, once you get that policy and you educate, call your manager. Just call them. You should never, ever leave a house without an application without calling your manager first. And it's no type of pride thing or status thing that managers have. It is solely to help the agents get more sales. Okay, we don't take half of your commission if you call us in the house or anything silly like that. We want you to call us in every single home before you leave without an application so we can help you get the sale. And it helps you learn some one-liners, because if you get me on the phone and I say an extra one-liner that you may not have heard, you can use that the next time you're in the home. Okay? So anyhow, call your manager in the home. But at this point, I've done the policy review. You know, I've done all that stuff. All I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to start adding value. Okay? I'm going to add value by telling them that I shop around. I have the top carriers in the company. I'm able to shop around for them, get them the best product, the best prices that they can find. Starts immediately in most cases. No money today. Carriers, we got to think about it first, okay, all this stuff. And don't worry about their other payment if they already have a policy in place. We have, again, on the website under Producer's Toolbox, under helpful forms, there's the cancel forms that you can help the customer fill out. They have to fill it out and sign it, but there has to be a written letter to their current company letting them know, hey, don't charge my account. So I do several things. I ask them to go to their bank and stop the payment. I fax a letter. We do a letter fax and mail the letter. So we do all three. Okay, do everything. And again, if they're older, you got to be more sensitive with this stuff to make sure that your policy gets approved right before you do that. So it's kind of a case-by-case deal. Okay, but if someone's super healthy and all that, there's not a whole lot to worry about. So anyhow, guys, that's how you do the policy review. You can kind of go over this stuff again. You don't have to do all this because this is all to sell them on buying insurance, but they've already bought insurance. They're already sold out on getting insurance. You're just trying to add value to what you do and explain the process as far as what you do as well. Okay, so this is more designed for selling more than just review, because again, policy review, you're not selling anymore. You're just trying to negotiate something better for them. Okay, so all right, let's go back to the top now. If they say right here at the top, they say that they do not have any coverage at all. Okay, it's also important. You need to be able to do both. You say something like, great. Again, what do I say after they say almost anything? Great, perfect, fine. Oh yeah, whatever, absolutely. I'm saying something like that to transition. Oh no, I don't have anything in place. I can't afford anything. I don't care. Whatever they say, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what they say. Okay, great. That's fine. Perfect. It's probably why you sent this card in. Okay, when you were in high school, and it's basically the same exact thing as a policy review, except you don't have to ask them to get the policy. That's again, when they have a policy, what do? You ignore it. You get the policy from them, you throw it on the other side of the table, and then you just continue on with your presentation. So it's almost the same thing. No, I don't have anything. Great. That's probably why you sent this in. You want to get something on your family to protect them. I'm going to do something called Insurance 101. Okay, we're going to go through the different types of insurance. I want to get you to the point to where you're so educated on insurance, Ms. Johnson, that you can tell me what's best for your family. I don't have to tell you what's best. Okay? So there's term insurance, milk, bread, cheese, universal life, accidental, Whole life. Again, flipping through the binder as I'm educating them. 82% of people are unprepared. When they do not have insurance, guys, I'm flying through this very fast. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Why? Because this is mainly for policy review. Because if they have Globe or AARP, this is a way of educating them about the problems of working with these companies. But they don't have these companies, so I still want to bring it up, because when I leave that house and I just sold them a whole life plan for $50 a month, and then they get a letter from Globe that they can get the same amount of coverage for $20 a month or $30 a month, I want them to be educated on why they don't want to sign up with Globe or AARP or Physicians Mutual or Colonial Penn or Lincoln Heritage or so on and so forth. So I'm still going to go over it for education and to help save my business from canceling down the road, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. So it goes something like this. The number one issue, and keep your eyes peeled, Ms. Johnson, for something like this. You may get something in the mail after I leave from Globe or AARP or Physicians Mutual. That is not good insurance, okay? Almost always it's term policy. The companies are fine. It's a fine company, but if you have something that's term insurance at your age, it may not be the best thing for you, okay? Next one's no insurance. Obviously, that's you right now, but you were smart enough to send in this paper to get more information. Paying too much. Lincoln Heritage, again, guys, these are great companies, but they tend to just be a little bit more expensive than the companies that I have to offer. Okay, pre-need insurance, trying to save money. I've had people before, Ms. Johnson, tell me they're just going to save money to do it. Guys, you save $500 and then you get flat tires or your fridge goes out. The best thing is to have these companies that have billions of dollars, have them spend their money on your funeral. Don't spend yours, right? Work policy, it stops when you stop working. Flexible premium, accidental coverage with your bank. Those are not good plans. The reason I'm doing that, guys, is because say they're shopping. Say I get there, right? They say they don't have insurance, but they're shopping for insurance. They know Globe's prices. They know AAA's prices. They know their bank will give them $10,000 of coverage for free. What I want to do is I still want to educate them to kind of defend myself and build up value of why you want to work with me instead of these other companies. So again, education first. Then I kind of sit back in my chair and I just kind of look at them, and I have again normal, casual conversations, guys. Miss Johnson, who do you know that's passed away in the last 10 years? I don't know, maybe a family member, a friend, a relative. I mean, anybody like that that's passed away? And they'll usually give you a name: uncle, cousin, spouse, brother. Really, what happened to them? I mean, how'd this happen? How old were they? Oh, really? Well, goodness. Now, when he passed away, how'd you guys handle that as far as financially, like with the funeral and all that stuff? How'd you guys do that? Oh, you guys all had to chip in, so that's just kind of hard. Okay, so all I'm doing, guys, you have to keep in mind that only 1% of the people send this card back. 99% of the people, if we send this to 1,000 people, okay, 990 of them are going to throw it away. 990 people are going to grab this thing, tear it in half, the lead, and put it in the garbage. So the people that send it in, they have interest. You have to try to find out what piqued their interest. And these next two boxes, is how you're going to find out what piqued their interest. Okay? So what was their concern and who do they love? So were they prepared financially? All I'm trying to find out is, do they have insurance? Do they not have insurance? Where's the pain that these people have felt that made them send in junk mail, right? Fill it out and tear it off, walk back to their mailbox and put it back in the mailbox. Why would they throw away junk mail every day but send our card back in? I'm going to find out. So this is how I do it. This is where I kind of start pulling at the heartstrings right here. So whatever they say, whether they prepare financially or not, it's okay. Well, that's exactly why I'm here. If they say, no, we all had to come together, we had no insurance. Okay, well, that's exactly why I'm here. I want to make sure you do have insurance. Yeah, they had some insurance, but it wasn't enough. Well, that's exactly why I'm here. I want to make sure you have enough. Okay, so it's all kind of the same answer. But again, guys, like I said at first, this is not a quiz. This is not a survey. This is not, do you know anybody that's passed, maybe a family member or friend, where they prepare financially? You're not just quizzing these people. it's a conversation piece. This is just to help you stay on track. This is just an idea, okay? So next, now who do you want to be in charge of paying for this funeral of yours or planning your funeral? I know it's not fun to talk about. I know you hate it. But say you were to die when you're 115 years old. I mean, you may not want to live that long, but say you were going to die when you're, at a ripe old age. Who do you want to be in charge of taking care of this? Okay, and again, guys, the delivery is important. I can say it with a ton of personality and make them laugh, but I kind of hurt them and then bring them back and make them laugh. I make them realize that a funeral's, imminent. It's going to happen, but I also make them laugh about it. So who do you want to be in charge of it? And they're going to give you a title. They're going to say sister, aunt, cousin, brother, sister, something like that. You need to actually get a name. You need to find out the person's name. So who do you want to be in charge of paying for the funeral and planning all this stuff and dealing with all this stuff? I know it's not fun to talk about, but, say you were to die when you're a ripe old age of 95 years old. Who would you depend on, or, who would be taking care of this? Your sister? Oh, cool. Does she live around here? Oh, does she? That's awesome. Well, it's cool. I bet it's nice at the holidays. You get to see your family. And what's her name? Sally? Okay, perfect. So your sister Sally. How about that? Sounds like a children's book. Okay, great. So we want to make sure that Sally is taken care of. Okay, so what happened to your family doesn't happen again. All right, so next thing is we have a very unique program. No money today. Okay. The carrier that they're going to have to think about this first because it's a lot of money. Okay, as far as what they have to pay Sally, it's going to be a lot of money. And so they have to think about it first. But what I'm going to do for you, okay, and this is the benefit of working with me, you like to shop around, you like to make sure you get the best deal, right? Hey, my wife's the same way. I tell you what, she does the coupons, she waits for the deals, she knows when the produce is coming in and when she knows how to do all that stuff. I don't, but she loves shopping around, and most people do. So that's what I'm here to do for you. Okay, I'm going to shop around. I'm going to find you the best prices in the U.S. with some of the top companies in the United States of America. Okay, so if you want to shop around and make sure you're getting the best deal, I'm going to do that for you today, right now. Okay, there's also a few things that we want to do. And again, the reason I say that, guys, preventing objections. They're not going to tell me they want to shop around and get a better deal. I just told them they can't. They have to do it with me because I'm going to get them the best deal. Now, guys, insurance. It's a needs-based sell. Okay? It is not for, if you're going to these homes to sell funeral coverage or final expense coverage, you're going to get hurt. You're going to lose a lot of money. Okay? I shouldn't say that. You're going to not make a lot of money. If you go to these homes building value and exposing needs, okay, you're going to help a lot more families and you'll end up making a lot more money. So what I mean by that, there's different products. It's all the same exact carriers, same whole life plan. There's different ideas on what these policies can be used for. Okay, so the first thing is funeral coverage. How much do funerals cost? $2,000 for a cremation, $12,000 for a normal funeral. What do you have to cover that? Final expense coverage. What's final expense coverage? Okay, final expense coverage is taxes, credit card loans, car loans. Flying your brother from California back to Texas so he can see you. All these other expenses that go into a funeral. That's what final expense coverage. Moving your stuff out of the house to storage. I don't know, but something. There's going to be a lot of money outside of just, the dirt and the headstone. Next is life insurance. This is just having extra money to give to your family when you pass away to cover costs. Okay. Income replacement. Guys, the most popular sales are going to be funeral coverage, income replacement, family plan. Those are the most popular purchases right there. Okay. Income replacement works like this. Okay. Let me go ahead and insert a new page. You have to give me a second right here, guys. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flip that page over. I'm going to draw this. I use the same names and the same amount every single time. Try to use that. Okay, Bob and Sally. $1,500, $700. Okay. My handwriting is much nicer than this. Not much, but a lot nicer than this, guys. It's just computer screen that I'm writing on doesn't allow me to have my penmanship of a scholar. So anyhow, income replacement, this is how it works. If I'm sitting income replacement, this pitch that you're using right here applies anytime someone is relying on that person that you're pitching their income. So if it's husband wife, right, they both rely on their incomes, correct? Now if it's mother and her son and his wife living in the house, but they're 3 kids, but they all depend on each other for each other's income to survive, and they're barely getting by, it's all an income replacement pitch. So here's the husband-wife pitch. I always use the same names, so I don't want to get too personal. So guys, I'm not sure if you knew this, Bob and Sally, okay? But when one of you passes away, you're not going to continue to get both paychecks. Did you guys know that? Isn't that wild? So what's going to happen is, say Bob dies, okay? Say Bob passes away. What's going to happen is you're going to lose this money. Sally will continue to get the $1,500, but you're not going to continue to get both full paychecks. So if I were to ask you guys, could you guys afford to lose $700 a month? Or could you guys afford right now, and I'm looking at the customers, could you guys afford to lose one of your paychecks, the smaller one? Okay, that'd be hard, right? So in this case, if Sally was doing $700, she'd get the $1,500, but she would lose $8,400 a year in household income overnight. So what I can do is I can offer you guys a program that will help replace this income for a year or 2 years, whatever you guys can do, to help you make that adjustment in your lifestyle. Okay? So you guys can see, and say it's Sally and family. So say Sally lives there with family, okay, or her son or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact type of thing and help them realize how much the household is going to lose. So income replacement isn't a husband-wife thing. It's a household thing. Does that make sense? So that's income replacement. So last one, family plan or inheritance benefit, excuse me. I sit back in my chair. How many grandbabies do you have, Ms. Johnson? You have 5 grand? All right, just dream with me right here, Ms. Johnson. Tell me, how amazing would it be to leave each of those little grandbabies $200 or $500? Wouldn't that just be amazing? Well, I can make that happen for you. How many do you have? 5? Okay, so if we left $500 or say $200 for each of them, and it's $1,000 total, giving them a $200 gift, they would remember that forever, even after you passed away. Okay, it's something that they would always remember. Isn't that cool? So we can do that for you as well. And the last one's a family plan. Again, like I said in the beginning, Ms. Johnson, if we partner today, I'm your family's agent for life. I specialize with people 50 to 85, but I work with people 0 to 90. So if you have grandbabies, your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, all of those people, eventually I'm going to talk to them, introduce myself, to shake their hand, and make sure everyone's covered properly, all right? So again, referrals and building your book of business. And then also through Mutual of Omaha's Children's Whole Life, and Monumental's Children Rider, you can sell a plan to Miss Johnson that covers all of her grandkids under 18 for dirt cheap as well. Okay, so again, it's always based on needs, guys. Everything that we're doing is based on the needs. So, okay, moving along, trying to hurry up here. All right, let the screen catch up. Okay, so next step, submit for underwriting. Okay, I'm not really going to say that to her. I'm going to say, all right, the next thing is we got to do some underwriting. There's no physical testing. I'm not going to send a nurse over here to poke you and prod you, take your blood and all that stuff. Put you on a treadmill and make you run. We're not going to do any of that. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at your prescriptions for you real fast. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this application. I'll just fill it out for you, and I'll submit it to the carrier. They have to look at it first before we do anything. Then you're going to pick a day next month that you'd like to get started, and then I'll bring the policy out to you. Does that sound all right? So as far as health is concerned, talk to me. Be honest with me. How are you doing as far as your brain, heart, liver, lungs, kidneys, diabetes, cancer, anything like that? What's going on with your health? Okay, so again, I'm going to start to ask them and inquire, and I'm looking at the prescription medications as I'm talking to them about their medical history. The reason field underwriting is so important is you want to make sure when you submit the application to the carrier, it gets issued, you get paid, and the person gets covered. If you're just taking applications at random and submitting it to random carriers without looking at prescriptions and asking health questions, guys, you're going to waste a ton of time. Another thing, guys, right here is another great time. Call your manager. Get the prescriptions, ask him what's going on in the health, start dialing, okay? And this is how that phone call sounds. It's not negative, it's extremely positive. Hey, how you doing, Isaac? This is Sam. I'm just sitting here with Miss Johnson. She's a healthy 70-year-old. She's looking great. She seems like she's on top of the world, but just want to kind of run some things past you, make sure we're going in the right direction. Looks like she has taken some insulin for diabetes. She's had it for, how long have you had it, Miss Johnson? About 10 years. She's had it for about 10 years now, but she's looking very good. She's looking strong. I just wanted to call and get some recommendations. I was thinking about going with Americo on it, on a UP1, but I just wanted to kind of chat with you about it first. Is that the right direction? And then I'll just kind of talk to you, okay? And I'll say, yeah, that's perfect. You're good to go. Get her signed up, and you can put me on speaker. We can do different things, but make sure you call your manager at this point as well. It will help. So next thing, guys, this is where you start to sell them. So what you do, there's two levels really to the selling process with these folks. The first thing you're going to do is you got to break down the barrier first, because no one likes to be sold; they like to buy. But you have to do it the right way to break down the tension, but at the same time, close them down hard. Okay. Let me kind of explain that a little bit better. So to go something like this. So again, Ms. Johnson, what we need to do is we need to submit an app. The carriers have to think about it first. Before you can start anything, they have to say yes. So what that does, guys, is let them know, maybe in the back of their mind, oh, I have a month to kind of think about it, But I don't ever use the right of rescission clause, which is something like, yeah, we just send this in, and then you have 30 days to decide if you want to keep it. I never say that type of language ever, okay? But I do break down the pressure by saying, hey, for right now, we just have to get you pre-approved. We have to get you approved with something. The carriers have to think about it first. I have to shop around, and we'll pick a day sometimes next month that we can get started, okay? First thing first is we've got to get you approved with something, okay? The number one most important thing, Ms. Johnson, is that you get something. You have got to get something to make sure that Sally is taken care of, okay? You got to do something to make sure that Sally is taken care of, okay? So, again, heartstrings, guys. That's why you're asking for the actual name, not just sister. Sally, Sally, Sally. You're going to say it over and over and over again. Make sure Sally is taken care of. But at the same time, we have to be sure it's affordable, right? Again, I work with people typically 50 to 85 on Social Security, disability, or income, and we have to make sure it's affordable. But all in all, okay, even if it's hard to pay for this or that, we got to make sure Sally has some money to take care of all this stuff, so you don't leave her with just a big old bill, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run some prices. Keep in mind that something is better than nothing. I know you want $1 million of insurance, but if you can't afford it, don't do it. If you can only do $2,000, do $2,000. Trust me. If you pass away and I bring Sally $2,000, she's not going to say no. If I bring her $15,000, she's not going to say no. Just get something, but make sure it's affordable. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So now I kind of know what direction I'm going as far as what carrier, okay, what rating. So now I'm going to start quoting prices. I'm going to do something around 30. Hopefully this works. Something in the 50 bracket, 50, 60, something in the 80, 70, 70 area. Three prices is where I start. And you'll get good at knowing where to start when you're running prices. If it's a 60-year-old, you could start at 10,000. If it's like a 75-year-old, you may only be able to start at 5,000. 75-year-old smoker, you may be able to start at 3,000. You'll start to know that stuff, but for now, just stick to the 30, 50, 75 area, because this is $1 a day. So that's this demographic that you're working with, guys. When they were in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, they were marketed to on commercials and radio ads by $0.05 a day. a dime a day, a penny a day, $1 a day. That was the market. Nowadays, it's for $40 a month, $39.99 a month, right? So the marketing's kind of changed. So I use this as the $1 a day because that's how they were used to. Okay, that's what they're used to. So before I show them the prices, I say it again. Again, Miss Johnson, we got to make sure Sally's taken care of. Remember what happened to your uncle, when he passed away? You guys didn't have anything. We're not going to do that again. I'm done with that. I'm going to talk to your family. We're all going to get covered properly. That's never going to happen again. Or if they were covered properly when their uncle died or whoever, we're going to make sure that the rest of your family is taken care of, starting with you. And we're going to make sure that when you pass away, Sally is 100% taken care of. We got to get something, but we got to make sure it's affordable. I slide her the prices across the table, and I shut up. Or, excuse me, I be quiet and just wait. Okay? But I'm kind of there. I say something like, which one do you want to get started with? Again, for now, you don't have to pay anything today. It doesn't start until next month. So which one do you want to get started with? And you can start low and move up later, but which one do you want to do? And they usually pick somewhere in the middle. If they pick in the middle, if they pick 50, I say, okay, now that's $50 a month. Is that something that you're comfortable with? Or would you rather see something for $45? And I always try to downsell them. They have to sell me on the price they picked. No, I can do that. Perfect. Fill out the application. Now, if they pick 75, I say, okay, that's 75. Are you comfortable with that? And they say, yes. I'm going to say, okay, well, let me show you what it is for 20. And I show them what it is for 20,000. Right? For example. And they say, yeah, let's do that one. I can do that. You know what I mean? Because they may not know that you can go above 15,000, but they could afford $150 a month. So if they pick this, go higher. If they pick this, right, then you can go lower with that bottom spot right there. Then you can just pick a lower. If they pick this one, you say, are you comfortable with that? Would you rather see something for about 25? Yeah? Okay, then show them the 25, something a little bit cheaper. But once the price is picked, say they pick this one, perfect. What's Sally's last name? And you want to make sure she gets the entire 7,000. Okay, Sally Wilson. Okay, perfect. And what's her birthday? And you're onto the application, good to go. So, guys, that's basically it right there. Wait for the website up. Give it a second just in case I'm a little bit behind. Go to the Producer's Toolbox online. Print out these different forms for your sales binder. This is all stuff that you can use. Here's the cancel forms if someone needs to get rid of their current insurance. A coupon book. Here's the presentation layout. Okay, just different things. Referral sheet for collecting referral. Here's the script save card. Here's your underwriting tools. Okay, this is all very, very helpful stuff that you're going to use every single day. This underwriting guide you'll use every single day. The final expense product training you'll use every single day. The RX learning guide is something that you should print off today and study to kind of learn the medications. But anyhow, guys, this is all very helpful information. If you use it, guys, again, master your presentation. Use the presentation layout. It will give you a lot of confidence going to the home and just knowing that, hey, you have training wheels on. You have training wheels. This is going to help you walk you through the presentation, but master it, guys. Okay, call me, call your manager while you're in the home, do all that stuff. This is all stuff that will definitely help you guys in the future. So, guys, see you on the morning conference calls, and we'll chat later.